So today marks World Earth Day with the theme Invest in Our Planet. This comes with a unique opportunity for South Africans to support a project with a positive impact on the climate and environment, sustainable agriculture, economic development, and the ever so critical deployment of solar power to help address South Africa's energy crisis. Buhle Farmers Academy trains, mentors and supports new farmers across South Africa to run farming businesses that are both profitable and sustainable. Let's talk a bit about this now. We're joined via Zoom by Buhle Farmers Academy CEO, Nyiko Maluleke. Mr. Nyiko, thank you very much indeed for your time. We do appreciate it here on the agenda. Let's talk first of all about this year's theme.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Isabella. Indeed, today is the talk of the Earth Day, but it's like 22nd. We're talking about sustainable agriculture that will be there and be able to support farmers so that we have, we issues of food security, for example, is sustainable. Under this very difficult climate that we are in.
I want to talk a bit about that. Yeah, please go ahead. I thought you were done. Apologies.
No, thank you. Yes, I was still continuing still on this day that we talk of sustainable farming, sustainable agriculture, making sure that we keep our environment clean, but at the same time producing enough food. And we do this under very difficult situation now. For example, if you look at some of the production expenses that are high for farmers, it's electricity, and we know even the current challenges that we are having in the country, of load shedding, that this even put more strain in making sure that the agriculture is sustainable. And some of these interventions where we get into solar so that farmers are able to irrigate and run their businesses, will help in the sustainability of farming and agriculture in general.
How do you address some of these pressing issues as the Academy? Because if you talk about food security, they cannot be food security in an instance where we have such unreliable electricity supply. How do we tie that in and use Earth Day, to drum up that kind of awareness about how we are able to navigate through some of these challenges? If we talk about food security, it cannot be a meaningful discussion without addressing some of the other issues that may hamper the very food security that we talk about.
Yes. No matter how difficult we find ourselves in, at the end of the day, people must eat. So farmers must make means to be able to survive or to navigate through difficult moment. And one of the things is to make sure that they for example, when you look at water, you look at what is it that can be done to be water efficient in your farming environment. For example, instead of using irrigation systems that utilizes a lot of water, you can go to simple irrigation system like drip irrigation, which uses less water. It will need less electricity to pump and do that. But in general, farmers need to also look at because, like, for example, now where we are working with Sun Exchange, to get into solar, is that if for example, your crops at a specific time they need a specific amount of water. If they don't do that, then your crop will fail. And because of these challenges we're facing, like load shedding, it means that negatively affected. So it is good to supplement or to add into that you also have another cleaner way of producing electricity that can help us as farmers. So even a small farm somewhere can be able to put up solar panels or solar generated power to be able to put lines in the chicken houses, to be able to pump water, to be able to irrigate in that sense. Because if we can then rely, for example, rely only on Eskom, that will be very difficult. Most farms are going to close.
And I guess this is where the Academy comes in. I understand it's in its 23rd year. You've mentored more than 7,000 upcoming farmers, most of them women, in agriculture, poultry, livestock production and all of that. I guess that's why this is critical. I'm sure you must be quite proud of it, because I guess what you'd be teaching these upcoming farmers is very different to what, if I can refer to as the old farmer would be taught. You really have to be innovative this time around because of some of these woes that we speak about.
Yes, sometimes nowadays we talk about climate smart agriculture. So our role as the Farmers Academy, for example, is to train and mentor farmers and be able to assist them to, to implement, we guide them to implement these measures that we are talking about. Because the way people used to farm 50 years back is different to the way people are farming now.
Yeah.
And if you want to rely mainly on the old things, it will be very difficult for one to compete with farmers that are advanced in terms of, new technologies.
True.
So some of the lessons that we give and the support that we give to farmers, to use recent technologies to be able to survive in this time environment.
But Mr. Maluleke, how does the small-scale farmer somewhere in Limpopo, in the Eastern Cape, who doesn't have the resource, like the farmers that you speak about, those who've been farming for a while that may have the means, we can talk about all the advancement of technology, but having access to the monies to be able to get access to that kind of technology would put the small-scale farmer on the back foot.
Yes, farmers need support. And in other ways, even ourselves, we say train and mentor and support farmers. We don't do it alone. In other ways, there are different industries, there are different stakeholders that must come on board to be able to support farmers. One main one will be your Department of Agriculture, that they've got programs that are there to supply farmers either with production inputs, mechanization, and so on. But we also look at private sector. I mean, as Buhle Farmers Academy, for example, we have partnered in the past with institutions like your NetBank. Currently, we have a project with SASO, where we are not only training and mentoring the farmers, but we are also funding them to be able to get the necessary resources that they need. Because training someone who does not have resources to utilize it's also meaningless. So when we develop farmers, for us to have sustainable agriculture in Africa or in South Africa, is that farmers cannot work in silos. They'll need support of these different organizations that are there to help them. So what we encourage farmers is that they must network. They must find out which companies are supporting on which platform, because some will say we focus mainly on production inputs, others will say we focus on mechanization, others will say anything that has to do with smart agriculture. Then they need to be exposed to all these institutions in order to support them. Because you are quite correct. Another thing is that farming is expensive to start. So, you might have the love to do what you want to do, but if you don't have resources, it will be a waste.
Thank you very much indeed. And we appreciate your time here on the SABC News Channel. Thank you very much indeed to Buhle Farmers Academy CEO Nyiko Maluleke.